Hey guys, so I'm going to teach you today how you can multiply with 3 and 6, okay? So let's start with a word problem. It says, Braylon is making triangles with toothpicks. She uses 3 toothpicks for each triangle. She makes 4 triangles. How many toothpicks does Braylon use? All right, so what do I know about this word problem? Well, I know a girl named Braylon is making triangles with some toothpicks. I know that she uses 3 toothpicks for each triangle, okay? So she's going to use some toothpicks today to form triangles. And I know the problem says she makes 4 triangles. I'm going to circle 4 triangles. The question says, how many toothpicks does Braylon use? So we are trying to find a total. How many toothpicks does Braylon use? I know that this is multiplication because there's the clue word that says each, and we also need to find a total. So that is not addition, this is multiplication. So the strategy that I'm going to use is a picture. I'm going to draw some triangles. All right, again, I know she makes a total of 4 triangles. Let me draw 4 triangles. Those 4 triangles represent equal groups. Okay, here are her 4 triangles. And then it says she uses 3 toothpicks for each triangle, okay? Oh, I wonder why she uses 3 toothpicks. Probably because, look at these triangles. A triangle has how many sides? Yep, you're right, 3 sides. So that's why she's using 3 toothpicks for each triangle, right? Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3. And there are 3 sides to each triangle. And again, she uses 3 toothpicks for each triangle. So I'm just going to write 3 in the middle of each triangle. She uses 3 toothpicks for this triangle. She uses 3 toothpicks for the second one for each triangle. 3 toothpicks for the third triangle. 3 toothpicks for the fourth triangle. So after I drew my picture of equal groups and the same exact number in each group, I am going to skip count to find my total. And I'm going to skip count by 3 since she uses 3 toothpicks to make each triangle. All right, ready? Skip count with me. Ready? So we have 3, 6, 9, 12. And if you want to, you could go back and count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just to make sure you're double checking your work and to make sure you got the right total. All right, so going back to the question, how many toothpicks does Braylon use? She uses a total of 12 toothpicks. And the multiplication sentence that represents this problem is 4 triangles, that's my equal groups, 4 times the number of toothpicks Braylon uses, 4 times 3 equals 12. 12 toothpicks. Okay, so strategy number 1 on how we can multiply. This example is multiplying with 3s. You can draw a picture and then definitely skip count by 3s to help you get your total number, your answer. All right, now I'm about to teach you some other strategies to use when we're multiplying by the number 6. All right, this second strategy, all right, I think this strategy is really cool, so really pay attention. I think you're going to really like it. All right, so when we are multiplying by 6s, here is a cool little trick that you can use when you're multiplying by the number 6. Have a factor that is 6. All right, so this strategy is called use 5's facts. Use your 5's facts and add, right? So when I say your 5's facts, that means numbers by 5. You're skip counting by 5, multiplying by 5. And when we multiply by 5, we could count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so forth. So I feel like the 2s, the 3s, and the 5s are on the easier level, right? It's definitely easier to count by 5s than 6s, so watch me. All right, so here's a problem that we're going to start with. Let's start with 6 times 7. All right, as you can see, one of my factors is a 6. Okay, when you have a factor that is a 6, you can use your 5's facts. So watch. What you would do is you multiply the factor 6 by 5. Okay, I know that sounds confusing, but watch me. So instead of saying 6 times 5, you would write, change the 6 to a 5. 5 times 7, because we're going to go ahead and use our 5's facts. Now, I know, and you could skip count on your fingers, and many of you already memorized this, 5 times 7 is 35. Okay? So after you multiply 5 times 7 and get the answer, the product, 35, now you take the second factor, which was 7, and you just add it to your product, to your answer. And I know that 35 plus 7, boys and girls, is 42. Therefore, 6 times 7 is also 42. Again, this strategy is using your 5's facts and then going and adding to get your answer. Let me practice. Let me work a couple more of those problems. Let's do 6 times 8. Again, this only works. You can only use your 5's facts when you are multiplying a number by 6. Okay? All right. So instead of looking at 6 times 8 and multiplying to get that product, you can actually use your 5's facts to multiply. Okay? So you take your 6. Instead of multiplying by 6, we can multiply by 5. So you would say 5 times 8, and 5 times 8 is 40. After you get that answer, you add the second factor to this answer, 40, and 40 plus 8 is 48. So that means 6 times 8 is 48 too. Okay, so it's just a little trick, and it really does. If you don't know 6 times 8, if it's not memorized yet, using your 5's facts really does help. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to do one more, just for extra practice, because I can see how maybe this strategy can be a little confusing. Okay, let's try 6 times 9. Again, I'm only using your 5's facts when you do have a factor that's 6. All right, so instead of multiplying by 6 times 9, I'm going to change the 6 and turn it into a 5, because we are using our 5's facts. 5 times 9, I can skip count by 5s on my fingers, can draw a picture, but 5 times 9 is 45. Okay, but we're not done yet. Okay, so after we multiply 5 times 9 and we get 45, now we add whatever the second factor is of the problem. You add that number to 45, and I know 45 plus 9, let's add our ones, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, regroup. 4 plus 1, 10 is 5, 54. So 6 times 9, boys and girls, is 54. So that is how you use, when you're multiplying by 6, you can use your 5's facts to help you get your product, to get your answer. Another strategy that I want to teach you when we're multiplying by the 6, you can use doubles. Watch me. Here's another way. All right, so we're using doubles this time. All right, again, I'm going to show you. Let's do 6 times 7. Okay, instead of using our 5's facts and then adding, I'm going to show you how to use doubles. So the doubles rule says, when at least one factor is an even number, you can use doubles. Now look at 6 times 7. 6 is an even number. As long as you have one even number in the problem, you can use the doubles strategy. 7 is odd, okay? Even numbers, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and so forth. So 6 is an even number, so we can use doubles. All right, this is how you would use doubles, boys and girls. First, you multiply with half of an even number. So what that means is you take, since 6 is even, ask yourself, what's half of 6? 3, because 3 plus 3 is 6. So you would say 3 times 7. So you're taking whatever the even number is. In this case, it is 6. You take half of the even number, which is 3, and you multiply by the second factor, which is 7. 3 times 7 is 21. Now watch what you do. Again, remember, this is called the double strategy. So you take your answer and you double it, okay? You write the same number. After you double the second number, you add the doubles, okay? You add the two numbers. And 21 plus 21 is 42. And of course, you can line up the numbers vertically to add as well. So therefore, boys and girls, 6 times 7 is 42. Okay? Let me show you two more using the double strategy. Let's do 6 times 8. Okay? Now, 6 and 8 are both even numbers, but you only have one of the numbers. Let's try 8. Okay, what's half of 8? 4. All right, so multiply with half of an even number. So in this case, we're going to change the second factor, and half of 8 is 4. So we're going to say 6 times 4 is 24. Then you double this number, and then you add the 2. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. Therefore, 6 times 8 is 48. Okay, I'm going to do one more problem using the double strategy. Let's do 6 times 9. Again, you could only use the double strategy when one of your factors is an even number. 6 is an even number, so you take half of 6, which is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So you take half of 6 is 3, and then you say 3 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27. After you get your answer, you double it, double 27, then you add the 2. Okay, 7 ones plus 7 ones is 14, I regroup. 2 plus 2 tens is 4, plus the 1 I regrouped is 5 tens. Therefore, 6 times 9 is 54. And that is how you use the double strategy when you multiply by 6s. The multiplication symbol up here to the top left corner. These numbers 0 through 12 represent the rows, boys and girls, okay? These numbers 0 through 12 up top represent columns. Now let's say I want to find the product for 6 times 8. So what I would do, I would start with my rows. I would find 6 over here, okay, in the rows, 6 times 8, and then I find the 8 that represents the columns up here, okay? So 6 times 8, I want to find the product, I want to find the answer. So what I would do is, I would start with row 6 and row 8, and I would come until 6 times 8 meet. So that's what let me show you what I mean. So I would go to the right. I would come down until these numbers meet. And that's where they would meet, 6 and 8 at 48. So 6 times 8 is 48. Let me show you another one. Let's do 6 times 4. All right, so I would move along this chart until these numbers meet. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. let's do 3 times 7. Start with your rows over here, 3 times 7, the 7 columns up here. And we would continue until they meet, and they would meet at 21. So 3 times 7 is 21. Let's try 3 times 9. Okay, you would move along this multiplication chart until they meet. The number meets, which is 27. So 3 times 9 is 27. I'll show you one more. Let's do a number that's not a 3 or a 6. Let's do 8 times 6, 8 times 7. Okay, so 8 times 7, we would keep on going until the numbers meet. Okay, so 8 times 7 meets right here at 56. So 8 times 7 is 56. Okay, and that's how you would use a multiplication chart. Also, boys and girls, don't forget, if those strategies that I showed you today confused you, don't worry. They're just some other strategies to help you be able to multiply. But if you want to, you can still multiply how you've been learning using equal groups, array, repeated addition. For example, 6 times 4. If I don't want to use the double strategy or use my 5 facts, you can simply draw equal groups, 6 groups. There are 4 in each group. You can draw 4 circles, whatever objects you want to draw inside of each group. Right now, I'm just going to put a 4 inside of each group, the number 4. And you can count by ones to get your total. I'm going to skip count by 4s to get my total. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So 6 times 4 is 24. You can draw an array to get your answer if we want to do 6 times 3. You can draw 6 rows with 3 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3 in each row. Whatever strategy you feel most comfortable, boys and girls, I would use that strategy because the end goal is to get the correct answer. Am I right? And 6 times 3, you can skip count by 6s. You can skip count by 3s. I'm going to go ahead and skip count by 6s. 6, 12, 18. So total number of this array of circles, 6 times 3 is 18. Okay?